Good afternoon. This is Reverend Dr. Chuck Currie here in Portland, Oregon. I wanted to take just a couple of moments to talk to you all about some of the very important issues that our country is facing right now, including the possibility of conflict with Iran, an irresponsible decision by the president to attack that country's leadership, and also to check in with you all about the impeachment and where we are in that process, particularly as people of faith concerned very much about justice in our country and the rule of law, knowing that if the president is able to do anything that they want to do without any accountability, that all of our rights, regardless of who we are or where we come from, are at risk. Let's talk first about the conflict in Iran. As we all know, President Trump, Donald Trump, launched an attack against that nation's military leadership at the Baghdad airport a short time ago, several days ago now. We are, I think, as a nation, most observers would say that the target of that assassination was someone who did great evil in the world. Not only did he bear responsibility for many of the attacks on U.S. troops in Iraq during the prolonged Gulf conflict, but he was also responsible for many civilian deaths in both Iraq and Iran. And I think the world is better off without him. That's to be sure. But both President Bush and President Obama also had the opportunity to do what Donald Trump did and decided that it was not in the best interest of the United States to do so because of the possibility of inflaming the already difficult political arena in which we exist in the Middle East. Donald Trump also has withdrawn from diplomatic efforts with Iran, which President Obama showed have worked with the Iran deal. Iran has not continued work on a nuclear weapon since President Obama negotiated that deal before he left office. Unfortunately now, Iran, of course, says that they will withdraw from the deal. To make matters worse, of course, the reaction to this killing in Iran has inflamed tensions, isolated the United States. And while the president says that the action was taken because there was evidence that Iran was going to launch attacks against the United States, there has been no evidence presented to the American people that that is true. And what we know from Donald Trump's tenure in office is that he is habitually dishonest. He lies about intelligence. He lies about our intelligence agencies. He attacks them on a regular basis when they talk about Russian interference, for example, in our elections. There's no reason to believe Donald Trump at this point in history. I don't think there ever was, but for those who might still hold on to some hope that his words are truthful, I think that it's time to let that go. It is important, it is vital that all of us who are able, and that means everybody, reach out and contact Congress and let them know that you, as a person of faith, believe that we should not be going to war with Iran. If you look either up or down, I'm not sure where it is on this, there should be a link that provides you with an opportunity to go to the Justice and Witness of the United Church of Christ website, and you can send a letter. There's a draft there for you. You can edit it to reflect your own personal voice, your own faith tradition, if you will. And let Congress know that they need to take immediate action to curtail Donald Trump's ability to take this nation into a war that has not been authorized by Congress. And Congress has that authority through the War Powers Act. They have that authority to make sure that a president does not launch a unilateral war. This is incredibly frustrating for so many of us who lived through the first Gulf War and then through the Iraq invasion. That was, again, another uncalled for and unjustified attack that was based on false intelligence. We should have learned our lesson. A war with Iraq would cost countless civilian lives, could cost countless lives in the region, the larger Middle East region. Israel is certainly at heightened risk now because of the United States' actions this past month. And of course, our soldiers, our brave men and women in the United States Armed Forces who have voluntarily signed up to protect this country, to protect our democracy, to protect our freedoms. We have absolutely no business sending them back into another endless war in Iraq and in Iraq and Iran. And so it's important that all of us speak out. So please take a moment and click on that link. We are called to be peacemakers. We are not called to be war makers. And Donald Trump's ineptitude, his clear fascination or obsession, I think is the right word, with Barack Obama and what he was able to achieve, and Mr. Trump's attempts to undo those achievements are leading this nation into a very, very dark place where the president has even suggested, not just suggested, directly threatened the Iranian people with war crimes. And we just can't put up with that. So sign that link, click on it, tell Congress now, no war with Iran, and continue to please pray for our country, pray for the Iranian people and the people of Israel and people of Iraq and all the people in the region of the Middle East as we try and work out an effort to bring a just and lasting peace, not just to that region, but to the entire world as well. I want to also mention the impeachment, the ongoing impeachment of Donald Trump. This is a very important issue. While white evangelical Christians have stood up and said that they support Donald Trump, many others of us have said that we believe that the rule of law is important and that people of faith must talk about this and hold the president accountable. And so, again, I urge you to call Congress and specifically to talk to your members of the United States Senate. Tell them to hold a fair trial, to allow witnesses like John Bolton. And we need to do that now because Mitch McConnell just today said that he's not going to allow witnesses. That makes no sense in a trial. There were witnesses against Bill Clinton in his impeachment trial. Donald Trump should be held to at least the same standards that Bill Clinton was held to in 1998. I've included a link to the remarks that I made a couple of weeks back at the Impeach Now rally that was here in Portland. I invite you to listen to those, but make sure that you call Congress and have a word with them and let them know what it is that you want, which is for an impeachment process to move forward in the Senate that includes witnesses, that is fair, not just to the president, but to all the people of the United States, because our democracy is in jeopardy right now. And without people speaking out, things will only get worse. And I believe, and I think it is a fair assessment to make, based on the fact that the president has been unwilling or unable to share intelligence, the United States was under direct threat by Iran, that this attack in Baghdad was in fact an attack to try and distract the American people from the very real issues of impeachment, of climate change, which we are witnessing today, the effects of in Australia as the fires burn out of control, something that we're very familiar with here in the American West now during not just the summer months, but now the spring and fall months. And so these issues must be addressed. Our economic inequality must be addressed. And these are Christian issues. These are faith issues. We are called to do justice. We are called to love kindness, and we are called to walk humbly with our God. And so let's all please do that. And we can start by signing this letter up here, the letter that tells Congress no war with Iran. And let's keep up pressure to make sure that this president is impeached and removed from office so that he is held accountable for our crimes and we know that our democracy is secure. God bless you all. God bless the United States of America. And I hope that we have a chance to talk again sometime very soon.